if you look up the age that an average millionaire would normally be in the United States, you'll see that the average age is actually 61 years old. And I know you're probably watching this video and you're like, I've seen so many people that made $1 million and there's so many young people making $1 million now. Like, how's the average age 61 years old? Well, you see, to the naked eye, a lot of people might seem rich. You see one person wearing Chanel and you might see another person rocking an $11 t-shirt. Well, see, there's a difference between these two. And you see, when you look at the millionaires now in day and age, they're not really rich. They look rich, but not truly. In other words, I might have $1 million that I can actually show you to the naked eye. But what do I actually have inside of my bank account is what matters. This is what truly makes millionaires. And the reason why, and the exact reason why, it takes somebody to become 61 years old to be able to actually understand how to actually become a millionaire is about to get to be cut all the way down inside of this video. Because I'm about to get to tell you exactly what the true millionaires avoid, that the ones that just look rich, they give in. There were 3 men that end up living in the same neighborhood with each other. One of them had $1 million house, another one had a $500,000 house, and the last one had a $200,000 house. The only difference is how these men actually acted and the traits they had with the money. Now, these guys made the same amount of money a year, had the same salary, but one of them did something different than both of them, and that's what actually got him rich. You see, the guy that had $1 million house, he seemed rich to the naked eye. To everybody that went through the neighborhood, looked, this guy looks rich. Little did anybody know, this guy was going bankrupt. Then we went over to the $500,000 house. He seemed rich also to the naked eye. And then we end up finding out on down the line that he came to the millionaire's house to borrow some money from him. But they were both in the same situation. It got to the point to where they all were neighbors, and the millionaire and the $500,000 guy went over to the person that owned the not so rich looking house and knocked on his door and asked him to borrow some money because they both were in the same position. The moment hit that, well, the $200,000 guy realized that he's not gonna lend them out any money because he know what they would do with it. They would spend it. And that was the reason on why they were at his door. But what did he truly do different? Was it really just money? I wouldn't say. Inside this video, I've added up all the components to separate you from the people that actually look rich and the people that actually are rich. This is what to avoid. The average person sees somebody with money and they think that they're just constantly trying to be able to make money inside the world. But what these millionaires and billionaires are actually doing is buying up time. See, time is something we can never get back, but we only have 24 within a day. The rich buy more time. But see, not only do they buy more time, but they have to learn to, first of all, be able to guard it. They have to guard time. So the first thing the rich actually do out in this world is they know how to guard their time. I saw a quote the other day and it said that you can really judge the character by a person by how they treat somebody that can do nothing for them. And see, one key thing that these millionaires know is that they have to be able to guard it with all they can, because time wasted is time wasted. And time that is valued by you is actually valued. When you start to climb up the ladder of success, you're gonna start to notice that you have less and less time to be able to actually do the normal things that you were doing anyway. Talk on the phone with your family members, talk on the phones with your friends, all these type of different things that you used to be able to do. But now you find yourself consumed and your goals require all of your time. The main key point of you actually becoming rich inside of this world is being able to understand and decipher what is important, what is not important. Billionaires buy up time. When you look at the scale and you see, well, a millionaire can actually get on a jet. If I need him in Mexico and I'm out in Florida, he can simply take a trip to me and be there within 2 hours. Also, that man can hop off the jet, go and enter a restaurant, tiny, right? He came to me in 2 hours. He then went over and we went to a restaurant. Well, because he's rich, of course he doesn't have to wait in line. So he skips the line and already has the reservation made. Once again, timing. That man then leaves from the restaurant. And then if anything needs to be done, if he's out of town, of course he needs a hotel. Well, everything is already booked and he's on his way. Keys are already in his hand. Everything is timing for them. So we have to first of all, learn how to guard our time. Now, the second thing that the rich people actually know in this world is they know how to spend their money. They know how to. The average person ends up, when money comes in, they have the mindset of a buyer mindset. Just like the story when we go back to the $500,000 house and the $200,000 house. The only difference is how they chose to spend their money. The buyer says, well, even though we're making the same amount of salary as him, they see it in their eyes as what they can afford. But the guy that's actually making the money is looking at, what can I invest? So even though they were making the same salary, two different mindsets. What can I actually invest? How much I actually can invest with this money that's coming in? And how much can I afford with this money coming in? Those are two different looks that we really need to be able to look at the concept at. This is how you make sure you spend your money. Every time money comes in, you put a portion to the side for you, and then you put a portion to the side for investing. Now, inside of this channel, I'll show you guys multiple ways on exactly how to be able to do that. So make sure if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, hit that share button. That way you'll see your boy face every single day. But it's gonna be very important on how we actually go through, and every dollar that comes through, we should have the investor mindset. When we do that, we will find ourselves not buying up the things that the people that wanna look rich actually want to purchase, only to look rich and not actually be it. So as long as we have that investor mindset and we're constantly investing, one day we will actually be able to afford in real life, real time, those things that we truly want. Not only are these people just getting rich from knowing where to be able to put their money at, they also know the rule of OPM, other people's money. See, I can be in the position to where I don't even have any money, and I know exactly how to use somebody else's money to bring me even more money. That's what I call a magician. Call me Houdini. Let's say I wanted to be able to start a business. And at this current point, I don't have any money to be able to start it. I know exactly how, I have the skills, and I know exactly what's needed to be able to run the business. The only problem is I don't have the money to be able to buy it. If I have access to the information on how to be able to get somebody else's money, then you can then use their money to create the business and let the business pay you and a portion to who you owe. You see, the rich know this concept of good debt and bad debt. If I make my debt work for me and bring me even more money, this is good debt. If I get the debt and I put it into something that only takes away from it, this is what we consider as bad debt. You do not want to see yourself in that position at all. So we want to truly know how to use OPM, how to get it, and last of all, how to keep it. Last thing you want is to be a business that's pumping out a bunch of money and you're going from broke to rich on a weekly basis. But lucky for y'all, I made a video right here of what I wish I actually knew when I was younger about money.